Hey guys, we're just gonna listen to Josh beat Bop at the very beginning. Welcome to GG Rated, guys, for another great episode that we have. Episode 53. Josh beat Bop is into episode 53, man. Tell them what we got looking forward to.
I'm just feeling it, man. Today we're gonna talk about our gaming moment of the week. We're also gonna go over gaming news and deals as always, and then into our main topic of the new Transformers animated movie out in theaters. Stay tuned on this episode of the GG Rated Podcast.
Hello, welcome to GG Rated. We hope you enjoy the show. Now here are the hosts.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Hey, shrimp kind of sounds good right now, man. Don't be mentioning shrimp like that. But guys, thank you all for stopping in. Ladies, gentlemen, females, males, whatever you want to call yourselves. Thank you for coming into another episode of the GG Rated Podcast, where we talk about gaming, news, tech, movies, everything that is really interesting in this world that continues to evolve. We will discuss it here on this podcast. Again, thank you. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that smash or hit whatever you want to do, that subscribe
hit
button.
That smash, subscribe.
Hit that smash, whatever, But Josh, how was your week, man?
Man, it's been long, dude. Oh my gosh. We're in the process of building a home, so I'm working up most of all the overtime that I can. I really can't complain, though. It's been really, really good. Still sticking with my diet this week. Went off the rails a little bit yesterday because I took the kids out to go see a movie, Transformers. And we had
which
pizza.
Which we will talk about.
Yes, which we will talk about. Had candy, cherry Coke. Had pizza afterwards, But I'm kind of back on the rails, except for tonight I'm drinking a little wine. I don't know how many calories are in that. But
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But, it's been a really good week so far. They officially break ground on the house tomorrow, which is Monday. But for you guys, this podcast comes out on Tuesday. So, they will already have been broken ground, and that's what we've been waiting for, baby. So, super excited, super pumped, very blessed.
That's awesome.
And
awesome.
Ready to go.
And I have to ask, I know you got the house. You got a lot going on right now. You got the house and everything. You have a little one on the way as well.
Baby
how's
number
the
3.
mama doing? How's mama doing?
Yeah, she's doing really good. She had a baby shower, which was awesome. We got blessed with some good stuff there, and
we got you some stuff we gotta get to you next time we see y'all. It's been a while.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
She's doing great. She's been organizing stuff that's called nesting. That they do before a baby arrives. I guess they go into some sort of mode called nesting where they just got to get the house ready. I had to move a recliner upstairs so that she could feed the baby upstairs and stuff. So I haven't
everything
really
ready. Everything ready.
I haven't had to do much but just work. So which is great.
Hey, you're doing something. That's something, especially for all the dads out there. We all know it's like, hey, we get in that mode. We got to get as much money. Got to get everything done. Get it paid for. Just get settled in by the time that baby comes and all that, which, we're all excited about, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
So,
how about you? How was your week, man?
It's been good, man. I mean, it was kind of busy. We had a lot of crime this week, dude. A lot of crime, a lot of stabbings, honestly, which was kind of crazy. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Addie, my daughter, had her homecoming. So her last football game as a cheerleader from middle school, and she had her homecoming as well with her boyfriend. Oh. And we went over there, took pictures and all that stuff. And
nice,
nice young man. It really is.
He
I did think about a time or two. I thought about giving you a call and trying the whole bad boys thing. You know what I mean? But he's okay.
Like, hey, you ever been in prison? Have you ever been with a man? You want to?
I can
So
see
funny.
you, Josh, coming over there from out of town.
Oh yeah.
Like scraggly, have the beard, like walking, busting in with all these girls. Because we went over to one of Addie's friends' house, and she had all the girls over there and some of the, the boyfriends. And it's a very gorgeous house. They was an awesome host, but I could just see you just busting the door like, hey, where is he at?
I'm like this boy. Yeah. And for those that don't know, Eugene was talking about crime and stabbings and stuff. He is Batman. So that's why he knows about that stuff. I mean, people might not know that you're a police officer. Is why you're saying that. But yeah, he's a superhero.
Yeah. Let's go with that. From now on, anytime I talk about that, I'm just going to say I'm Batman.
He is Batman. Yep.
I am. But
Cajun Batman.
Honestly, long story short, it was a little bit crazy of a week, but not too bad. Daughter had a great time with her. Felt a little sad, but a little happy at the same time, and just we're here Sunday. We're just here to talk about the gaming news. I did get to see the Transformers movie as well this past weekend.
Yep.
So this new Transformers 1 movie, guys, which we will talk about here soon. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a pretty good little discussion about this thing, man.
I think so too. I'm excited for it.
So let's go into our gaming moment of the week, and man, you're going to be excited about this one, Josh.
Oh yeah, I'm already excited.
The reason I say you're going to be excited, Josh, is guess what? We got a comment. We have got a comment on the gaming moment of the week.
It lives. We get to keep the segment.
Yes. So it comes from Trent Deer Hunting Adventures. He did comment, my gaming moment of the week is playing Madden NFL. I won 2 games back-to-back online and made someone leave. He said he loves the podcast as well. Trent, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for leaving a comment. We replied back. I did tell him at one point that it is awesome when you play online and you get to the point of being so good and you dominate so much that they get so mad and they just leave.
I love that.
It just has a certain kind of feeling to it.
It's the best. Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, so that is awesome. Guys, make sure you continue to leave your comments. As Josh, take it over and tell them, give them the spill. We're going to do this every week. We want more than one. We want all the comments.
We want all the comments. Tell us about it.
We want all the
smoke. Gaming moment of the week. That was very good, Trent. Thank you. See how much emotion that brought? Because everybody, if you've ever pwned a noob, you've been put in that situation. It feels so good. You are the dominator of the match. I mean, sometimes it might happen to you, but when it doesn't, you're the dominator. You're the top dog. And it's icing on the cake if you're the top of the leaderboard afterwards too.
That's right.
So yes, the gaming moment of the week is like this. It's your favorite gaming moment from this past week. You can go into depth as much as you want about what emotions it evoked, what exactly was happening in that particular game and moment. Just any way you want to express that to us, you can reach out to us on email at ggratedchannel@gmail.com. You can send a comment on YouTube like Trent did. You can reach out on Facebook. I mean, there's so many different ways to reach us. Please, we need your gaming moments of the week. So if you do anything, do that. And we'll talk about it on the show. If you got gameplay, you can send that too. We'll talk about it and display it on the show. So yes, please do that.
I agree. I'm going to echo that. I'm not going to repeat all that. But yeah, bring them all in, guys, and we will make sure to showcase y'all on the GGrated Podcast show. As far as our gaming moments go, Josh, I think we have the same. We captured some gameplay that we played. I think it was late last night. Got together, kind of show everybody a little bit. But we was kind of on a roof. We ended up playing I don't even know what this map is called. All I think of is Verdansk all the time.
I don't know. It looks like England or something like. I don't know.
We was just wanting to play together. It was kind of lame, but this moment we ended up both on the roof. We was both together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't. We was both talking to each other. There's a zombies everywhere.
And there's also proximity chat is on. Like I turned it on so that we could like hear the people talking and kind of mess with them a little bit.
So we ended up with Josh. We ended up with 2 kids on one match.
Oh, it was great.
One point.
It was great.
And the 2 kids was talking about Diddy. And so I guess all the kids are talking about that stuff. You know, they listen to this stuff just like we do in the news. And one guy was shooting at this kid. He had to be like, 10 years old on this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, stop touching me. You don't have my consent. You don't have my consent. Don't touch me.
Like, you don't have my consent to touch me. And then this is the zombies mode, right? This is the zombies mode.
This is the zombies mode, which you're looking at. We're both working in the same room. Pretty cool little moment. You see you looking out. We're trying to hold down the spot. Mm-hmm. Kind of moving zone to zone. Yeah. Battle Royale.
And what's really cool about this new mode on Call of Duty Warzone, there's these boxes that you open up, and it's a jump scare that like pops out of the box. And it even warns you beforehand, like, hey, is it okay if we do jump scares? And I was like, yes, let's get in the Halloween spirit. And what's cool is if you die, you come back as a zombie, and you can either support your team or just go try to kill all the other players as a zombie. You have like a big jump that you can like basically jump over buildings. You can throw out a gas grenade, and you can go into like a rage mode and like really hunt some folks down. I only killed a few people as a zombie, but when I did, it was really satisfying because I was like, yeah, because you go in like you eat them and stuff. Like it was really fun.
Yeah, dude, that was the coolest thing. Is like you kept respawning too as a zombie. So even if you died after a certain time limit, you see the time limit up at the top. You can kind of keep respawning. So we're not sitting here playing a battle royale. What I've kind of learned is you and me kind of like the respawning aspect. So we're not sitting here 20 minutes or 2 minutes and then having to wait 30 minutes to get back into a match.
And if it would have been a smaller map too, like if it would have been Rebirth, Resurgence, Zombies, that would have been even more fun. What is this, Activision? They really need to get some people that know what people like in this game to do some development, because my God, dude, like bring back Rebirth Island.
We was talking about that too, and I just feel like Rebirth Island, they have it, but it's on like a rotation of maps.
Yeah, it's on a weird playlist. Right? Yeah.
And we couldn't even get into the game before we ended up getting off, right? Mm-hmm. But look at that, dude.
Jason
you see
Voorhees,
that on that gameplay?
Yeah. And then I finished him off.
Yeah, you did.
And then we were looking for some orange things.
Yeah,
around the map.
I mean, we was literally at this point, I think, running in reference to it.
There's a zombie right there jumping, and
it was such a cool gaming moment just to run together. We haven't done that in so long, you know, and just kind of be in the moment, get the adrenaline going a little bit.
Oh, there's a zombie. So for the audio only listeners, we're pretty much playing this map where we've already explained it. When you die and zombies, you turn into a zombie. So we're both kind of posted up in this room, and there's zombies and there's other players trying to kill us. And now Gino is dropping in as a zombie, and I think I am about to too. And what's cool is when you drop in as a zombie, you don't parachute. You just like smack into the ground, and then you get
splatter.
Up. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. That was a good gas grenade.
Yep. Yeah. And here you are trying to kill him.
Yeah, I think I get this guy. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, take that.
And then this guy just comes in and slaughters you.
Yeah. He's like, nice try, Diddy.
That was a super cool gaming moment where I decided to capture a little bit because it was actually having some fun. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. If you have any captured gaming moments, make sure you leave them. Leave a comment or reply to us at GGratedChannel@gmail.com.
Yep.
That would be our gaming moment.
I got one more honorable mention that I want to mention real quick.
Go ahead.
Because I love this little game. It's a game that plays excellent on Steam Deck, and one that I go back to every now and then. It's Mars First Logistics. They've added some new content in there where you get to build things now. Instead of just delivering things by building a robot, I was building like power lines to connect different facilities. I built a monorail, and you get to actually like ride the train on the monorail. This is all on Mars
cool.
too. So just a quick mention of that. It was a really cool moment today playing that game where I've kind of figured out how to build stuff and do different missions with that new game mechanic that's been added. And I built a monorail over mountains and everything all the way to another spot, and then you hit a button with your robot and you take this thing up to the actual train, and you can like hop on it and actually ride what you just built. So it was some neat little content that they've added of Mars First Logistics. Definitely a game that I would check out, especially if you have a Steam Deck and you're looking for something chill to play.
So is this the game that I don't know who was with me that night, but you was playing it and you was streaming it on Discord.
Yeah.
And he was trying to pick up this like shovel or something like that. I don't know. with this
I kept like changing attachments and stuff to the robot and trying to
But guys, it took like 30 minutes, and it was so fascinating. Me and I forget who it was that was with
Daniel.
Me, Daniel. Me and Daniel was just watching him for like 30 minutes, and he just kept trying to pick up this shovel.
It was like a wrench.
A wrench, that's right.
But what I didn't know is I could restart the mission and everything would kind of reset. So I did a lot of that. And in all that time, I could have just like went back to the start and carried
it. It was so fascinating, though. Yeah. It was like 30 minutes of Josh being like trying everything in his power. He's in this valley.
Yeah.
He's like, and I'm like, Josh, what are you doing? He's like, I need the wrench. I need that.
I got it out too, finally.
We're like trying to coach him on and be like, hey, try this and try that. And
what I ended up doing
turned into a fun little moment.
So like what I think I ended up doing is you can build these attachments to where they extend out and in. And I put like an arm on the tip of it and extended out to where the wrench was in the crevice. And then I pushed it out of the crevice so that I could pick it up. That's basically, wait, I need to go this way. Hey, buddy. we're so weird. But yeah,
our YouTube, listeners, they'll see what we're doing there.
Yeah.
But that would be our gaming moment of the week, man. That's definitely a cool little game to try out if you're into that kind of crafting and stuff like that. So that's a perfect game to play. Let's go into our gaming news and deals.
That's a bop right there.
Oh, it is, dude. It is. So, our gaming news and deals. Do you want to go into the deals, or do you want me to go into the news first?
I only got one quick game, so I'll just do that really quick.
Okay.
The gaming deal that I have for this week is on Steam, and I'm guessing this might be all around on Switch and stuff too. I know this game is on there. It's called Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. It's an RPG game brought to you and animated. I don't think they're the developer, but I know like the animation and stuff is by Studio Ghibli or Ghibli. If you know, world-renowned anime and like animation creators. This is a RPG genre combined with Studio Ghibli's world-class animation and music composed by the renowned Joe Hisaishi. It's a charming yet tragic tale unfolds through the use of animation storyboarded and created by Studio Ghibli with English and Japanese voiceovers. It's a rich mixture of familiar RPG elements, expertly crafted and designed, and features dozens of locations to explore, hundreds of creatures to battle, and a wealth of quests and secrets to uncover. Switch freely between characters and familiars in an exciting battle system that combines real-time and turn-based tactical elements. It is 85% off. You can grab this game right now on Steam for $7.49. It's usually $50 game, and it is a beloved game that is very positive on the reviews. I actually own this game, and I caught it on sale for like, maybe it was like $10 a long time ago, and it plays great on Steam Deck. A really sweet game.
That looks really good, man.
Yeah.
I'm adding that. That looks really good.
Well, you have access to it, man.
Yeah, I'm going to just play that.
Yeah, play it. So that's my gaming pick for the gaming deal of the week is Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch Remastered.
That's a good one, G-Ray. For $7.49, 85% off. You cannot beat that. Snatch up that game. As always, tuning into the GG-Rated Podcast. Every Tuesday, you will get to see these deals. We will let you know if these deals are not in effect come Tuesday, but it's guaranteed come Tuesday that these deals will be on sale come Tuesday. And when you're listening to this podcast, make sure you tune in to get the latest on that.
Oh, so this offer ends in 15 hours, so this might not be active when people hear this.
I thought I just said all that.
We're going to post it.
We're live, baby.
Yeah, we're live. What I'll do is I'm going to post this on our Facebook, so hopefully people see it. And I'm probably going to post it on YouTube as well.
If you're hearing this now on Tuesday, the deal's probably already done at this point. In 15 hours, it's going to be done. I think midnight on Monday, I think it might be done. But it will be posted. Make sure you stay tuned for the latest deals on our GG Rated Facebook page.
Yeah.
We will post any of the deals on there. We're going to try to start posting some of these deals up there for everybody.
I'm going to post this on Facebook and also on YouTube. You can do a little post too. So
okay.
I'm going to post a picture of it, and hopefully everybody catches that watched the show.
Yeah, but either way, that's still a heck of a deal, man. They don't want to miss.
Yeah, and this game comes on sale like a lot, I think. So if you don't happen to catch it this time, then just like stick it on your wish list and catch her next time.
Yeah. Well, let's go into our gaming news, and it comes in a way of Halo. We have not heard much about Halo lately.
Other than me playing, because I play Halo quite often.
That's right, other than that. But I forgot to play my favorite.
And the good news just keeps coming. Yeah, they do.
It does. Halo Infinite's Helldivers 2 mode just got an October release date, and its gameplay trailer has them more hyped than ever. The story is from Brendan Lowry. What he says, this is some stuff that you kind of need to know, guys. I'm going to go ahead and kind of read that over. And there's actually a trailer that we can all watch live together. Me and Josh has not watched this trailer yet. So if you're on YouTube, you can follow along. And we'll also have the audio playing as well for our audio listeners. But what you need to know is everybody knows what Helldivers is. It's a very popular game from PlayStation that actually was released on PlayStation 5 and Steam. It gained a lot of attention over the summer. It's kind of died off a little bit, but it still has a very big cult following for Helldivers. Everybody talked about it kind of resembles Halo a little bit. So that's where you come into play at about a mode with Halo. Helldivers is a community-made Helldivers 2 mode coming to Halo Infinite soon. It's being made by the Forge Falcons, a team of talented fans using the game's Forge map-making tool to create custom gameplay experiences. So if you don't know about Forge, Forge is a game mode in Halo Infinite that you can make custom maps. A bunch of people do a lot of things. It was a feature that was long awaited for. It was not released when the game was released, but it is a pretty cool little mode. Me and Josh played
I think there was one that we played where you went in like Andy's room and you were playing as a toy. If I'm not mistaken, this one.
Yeah, you're right. It's pretty cool. So it also says strongly inspired by Arrowhead's popular co-op shooter Helljumpers, which is Helldivers, will feature intense encounters against banished and Covenant enemies, complete with custom scripted stratagem call-ins, randomized objects, dynamic enemy spawns, a colossal Halo 3 ODST inspired map, and more.
And just a quick intersection here, and you know what they're probably going to have included as a stratagem that Helldivers needs is vehicles. So I'm going to bet you're going to be able to drop in a Warthog as a stratagem, and that would be epic because that's what Helldivers 2 really needs is some vehicles.
It does. And it also says, so during the panel held during the October 4th and 6th Halo World Championship 2024 esports event, the Forge Falcons debuted its first ever gameplay trailer for Helljumpers that you can watch below. This trailer also revealed that after over 7 months in development, the mode is finally releasing on October 25th, that's my daughter's birthday.
So Helljumpers is the name of the mode.
It's what it's called. That's the name of the mode.
Crazy that's the name of it. They're just like blatantly like
ripping it off, aren't they?
Yeah.
So ever since Halo Infinite, 343 Industries implemented the ability to add PvE campaign enemies to maps in the game's Forge mode, map mapping tool, its community has built many custom levels and modes that creatively make use of the feature. Mm-hmm. Among the most exciting of these is Helljumpers, an action-packed Halo-flavored take on the popular co-op shooter Helldivers 2 that took Windows PC and PS5 gamers by storm earlier this year, like we stated. So it goes on and on and on about over 4,000 script nodes were maxed out, and they did a lot of work on this with 7 months. Some of these developers spent a lot of time on the Forge. That's why it's such a popular mode, because they can bring stuff to the game that Halo just never would bring to the game. But let's watch Helljumpers and see what this mode's all about.
I'm so pumped for this. Do you have the sound on?
I do.
Okay, because I don't hear it. Are you still you need to share the messenger for me so I can hear it.
All right, let me pause it so I can get Josh to listen to this at the same time.
Yeah.
And let me go back to the share screen and share that.
Share that for me, man.
There we go. Now you should be good.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
We start that back over. Here we go. Can you hear that?
Yep. Maybe. Not yet, but I don't think there's anything happening yet, is there? There we go. Okay. So it looks like you're dropped in as a Spartan. I can't really hear much.
Really cool. Ambience. It's pretty. I'll turn it up a little bit.
There you go, yeah.
I just want to overdo our voice, but...
Yeah, I can't really hear much, but it's okay. I'll just kind of talk through it. So looks like...
Really cool.
Oh,
you see like the flame going up like Helldivers? You see how it's going up?
Yeah, it looks like you're on Earth or something.
No, this is ODST. Like, you know, when they're in the city, the town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember much from ODST. But, so this looks a lot... There's a mode called Firefight, which is basically what this is. Except, I'm guessing it's going to be more intense. Yeah, this is basically Firefight. This is a mode that me and my son play.
Yeah. I know you're more the Halo guy.
Yeah. The only thing that would make it different, I guess, would be stratagems.
And that's what that is? What's coming down? Stratagems coming down?
Maybe.
It's not the best quality, though, to me.
No, yeah, this is definitely not as epic as Helldivers is. It looks
very plain.
Pretty mid, to be honest. They need to, you know what I think would help a lot is if they went to third-person mode, like they talked about. Because that's what makes Helldivers kind of more epic, is being able to switch between the both. Like, when you aim, you can go to first, but you see more of what's going on.
So you're kind of running around just like you're underneath a garage right now. It's what you're looking at for our audio listeners. Mm-hmm. It's got some really cool shadows and stuff on there. It looks like you're running through a ravaged city right now with a bomb. It looks like he's carrying a bomb or something. Mm-hmm. You see stuff kind of like flames, like rockets going up into the sky.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows ODST, this is kind of familiar to that. I think that's what they're trying to hit on.
The world looks the world looks good, but it looks a little empty.
It's just kind of empty.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
empty.
it is empty. There's no like atmospheric stuff in the air. There's no trash. It's really plain.
Like they're coming in and all, but it's a very empty level.
It doesn't look like next generation. Yeah, definitely. They need more stuff going on.
And then you're bringing these enemies in, and it's just like you're just facing enemies. Like they just randomly getting dropped.
Yeah, it's basically, there's no objective. It's kind of like you got to hold the point.
You're just fighting
every time.
Yeah.
Which is basically Firefight, which is what they already have, which is a lot of fun, you know. My son enjoys it because it's player versus environment.
Yeah.
And we play it together.
But see, Helldivers 2, I think what it really does good at is has the different, like, what would you say? The different things that you got to
Like
put codes
atmosphere.
in.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, too. The
And
different
it
puzzles
really,
you got to do.
Yeah, and the different worlds that you go to, it really feels like an alien world. There's all kind of geysers coming out of the ground. There's like fire in the air.
Yes.
There's like weather
different
effects.
planets, different maps have different effects. Yeah.
Yeah, and with all the different equipment that you can equip beforehand, but you can only equip so many slots. You kind of got a plan for each mission.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a cool concept.
yeah,
I just think that 343 needs to really get behind the Helldivers 2 aspect to it.
Yeah.
Because I think it would hit a lot harder with Halo, with the characters and everything. I mean, it would be perfect for Halo.
They need to rip off more.
This is not it, though.
No,
they
this
need to
isn't
rip
it.
off more.
This is not it. That was
No.
that looked like something they might have made in Forge and just kind of spit it out.
And well, I guess they did.
Yeah, I guess they did. But
it's just not.
Man,
something.
that's not as epic as I thought it was going to be. I think too. Like you need the lore that Helldivers has and the massive explosions and stuff. Like it's all about just like raw military power and just throwing as many bodies into the fray as possible. And you're not getting that with Halo. For like,
well, I feel like
it's
kind of stiff. It's kind of stiff. Like when you're running, you saw how he's running. He has like the arm out too, and it's like, dude, it's not fluent like it is with Helldivers. You're like sprinting. I mean, the animations, and then you can move every which way when you dive. I'm not trying to compare the two because I know this is just a Forge. They can only do what they can do.
Well, I think
right?
they compared themselves. Is I think where they messed up because. Like everybody's gonna say, dude, this is nothing compared to Helldivers. Because like
it's not gonna have a
Helldivers still holds up really well, dude. Like I've been playing it on my Steam Deck, and what's cool is you have the there's a certain edition of the game that you have for Helldivers 2, right? Is it called like the Citizens Edition or something? I was able to update mine to that game. Because you bought it and we family share. So I was able to update mine to what you have, and I didn't have to pay for it.
You got the arcade?
I'm pretty sure I do. Cause it
that's
downloaded,
awesome.
Because I was able to unlock another, you have different things you can unlock. So you can buy more armor and stuff with medals.
So I know you're talking about Helldivers, but just kind of going back real quick, just to kind of clear this up real fast. There's one other news that kind of came out with Halo, and I kind of want to get your impression on this to see how you feel about this. But, I forget the name of the engine that Halo uses. If you said it, I would say yes, I know what you're talking about. But
Frost or something?
No, it's not Frost. Slip speed or something. I don't know. But they are officially transitioning away on the next Halo to Unreal Engine. And I really believe every new game is going to Unreal Engine 5. Which, if you've seen Unreal Engine 5, it is so realistic. And it's so gorgeous. The way they do Unreal Engine 5.
Dude, I think one of the best looking Halo games was like Halo 5. And if they could get more of that motif while still keeping the classic look that they have now, just make it more realistic looking, I think that would be a good balance.
Yeah. They just need some more movement and stuff, I think. But that's Halo. You don't want to steer too far and change everything with Halo like everybody else is doing. But I think they kind of over the way Halo handles itself. So you gotta start coming up with something new.
Is it the kind of slip space engine? Is what they use
slip
right
space. Now? That's it.
So it says
they're transitioning.
There's an announcement like 40 minutes ago said Halo Infinite will still be supported through the slip space engine. You can expect more operations and updates to its Forge mode in esports year 4 of the Halo Championship series using Halo Infinite just announced. Okay.
I'm talking about the next
The
next
next-
Halo is going
oh,
to the next one,
got
not
you.
now. It's still going to be supported. This Halo is still going to be
Got
supported.
you. I was thinking you said that
The next Halo. No,
Halo
no,
Infinite
the
was going to
next.
change over. Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
It's too late at that point. They're not going to do that for an older game. Now, the next Halo, they are transitioning to Unreal Engine 5. So that's going to be a big deal. Big deal for them, I think.
I think so too.
But guys, that's going to be your gaming news. Is the new Helljumpers coming to Halo Infinite in the Forge mode, and as well as the new engine they will be using for the next Halo, whenever that is. Probably when the new Xbox comes out for the next generation Xbox as well.
Yes.
So, do you want to bring us into our main topic, man?
Autobots roll out. Main topic of the new Transformers movie, Transformers 1.
That was pretty perfect, man. That was pretty good.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. The latest Transformers movie. Yep, I just watched it Saturday.
You watched it with your son?
Watched it with both of my sons. Actually, my youngest boy, he made it through about 10 minutes of it, and he fell asleep on my lap and slept through the whole movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
That's pretty awesome. It probably made it where you can actually watch the movie too a little bit.
Exactly.
Guys, Transformers 1, not going too much into it because we're going to kind of talk about it a little bit, but they kind of took a sidestep on the Transformers franchise from the live action aspect to it to more of like the anime CGI kind of.
And this is also a prequel too, so they're kind of going back to the beginning,
which is pretty cool. Going back to the beginning, they actually named it Transformers 1 for a reason, to kind of make it more simple. So when there's a 2, it's just showing they're going back to the very beginning. And I absolutely love that too, and I'll explain that at the end. But Josh, tell me what you thought, man. What's your first impressions on Transformers 1?
Well, here's a quick breakdown. First is Transformers 1 is a fully animated film that serves as a prequel, like we just talked about. You have the origin story of two iconic characters, Optimus Prime, who is voiced by Chris Hemsworth, and Megatron, voiced by Brian Tyree Henry, back when they were friends on the planet Cybertron. The plot focuses on how their bond and close allies disintegrates, eventually leading them to become mortal enemies. Optimus, the leader of the Autobots, and Megatron, the leader of the Decepticons. I think it was good. I think there were some parts of the story that were definitely rushed and kind of dumbed down so that they could fit it in a movie and make it so that both audiences of like every age could enjoy the movie. I do have thoughts that we can kind of break down as we go through the scenes of the movie, and I'll kind of give my thoughts on it.
Okay, yeah. So just kind of going into it a little bit. I mean, do you want to talk about the very beginning, the arrival and introduction of it first?
Yeah, I was going to go through the main beats of the movie, and we can kind of talk about it.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay, so at the beginning of the movie, you get the introduction on Cybertron. The movie starts on the technologically advanced planet Cybertron, focusing on the early lives of Orion Pax, who eventually becomes Optimus, and D16, who eventually becomes Megatron. Both are minors. Their friendship and the difficult circumstances of their work set the foundation for the coming conflict. So yeah, basically you're starting out. You have Orion Pax, who is aka Optimus, voiced by Chris Hemsworth, is trying to break into some sort of facility so that he can try to find the the Matrix of Leadership is the thing that they're trying to find.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And as you kind of go through here, you find out, after he escapes, you find out that he's a miner. He's mining Energon with other miners. And there's different classes of bots. You have the ones that can transform and, are probably the more elite bots. And then you have the miners that they use to mine to mine energon, as I've said. And
but it's important to say that you have to have a core.
Yes, you got to have
in
a
order
certain
to transform.
core.
And none of these miners or anybody else have cores.
Right.
It's a special privilege to have a core.
Yep, because if you have a core, then you can transform. So basically, you're kind of learning about that class system and about the world that they live in. So
yeah, just hitting on that a little bit, Josh. I think it's kind of reminiscent of kind of like how we have the world kind of right now. You know, you kind of have the lower class, middle class, upper class. And it kind of reminded me of that whenever you see the miners, just like the blue collar workers, you know, they're always just trying to get to the next day, work a little bit more. They're getting longer hours as they go. They do something wrong, you know, they're going to get nailed down. It's so hard to get a promotion, right? And I think you see one of the girls that was a supervisor that had a mine collapse, and Optimus Prime ends up going and trying to save a friend, right, during this mine collapse, and the supervisor ends up getting demoted because of it, which was something out of her control. So it's kind of reminiscent of kind of how the world actually works now, so you can kind of relate to it a little bit. I don't know if they're for sure going that deep, but they kind of want you to kind of feel connected, I feel like, from the start on this movie when you're talking about the classes, the different classes that they have.
Yeah, definitely. And their boss, when they're mining and stuff, is D16 is the name of that bot, and she's voiced by Scarlett Johansson. So I guess they just got a bunch
I knew that voice.
Yeah, I guess they just got a bunch of the Avengers to play different characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I was kind of like, golly, like this the same voices for everything. But honestly, I think that Chris Hemsworth did a really good job, and
he surprises me every time. He did Mario too. Remember?
No, I'm sorry. No. I said Chris Hemsworth. So Mario was Chris Pratt.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
See, that's my error. I got it all wrong, guys. Y'all just heard it live. Like, I mean, I'm thinking Chris Hemsworth. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, he did a great job. Yeah.
Which honestly,
that's Thor, right?
Yep, Thor.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think Chris Pratt would have been pretty good too. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
he did good with Mario.
But definitely. But yeah. So they're just kind of building up that world. There's a lot to go through that we're probably not going to be able to get through. There's like a big race that they do every year. You kind of meet the main guy that's the head of everybody. His name is Sentinel Prime is the name of him. I guess he's like the commander, the mayor of the whole
last
planet.
Primus left.
Yeah, he's the last Primus. So you kind of go through that in a series of political scenes. We meet Sentinel Prime, who appears benevolent on the surface, but is actually a puppet of the Quintessons. And guess what, guys? This is spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, you probably want to see the movie before we go into all of this. Or like, are we spoiling this, or what do you think?
I guess we can try to hold back a.
Yeah, we'll just.
I mean,
I don't know because it is a pretty new. It is a pretty new movie, but if you've seen it, then this might be fun for you to hear or kind of talk about. And you can kind of hear like our opinions on it.
We'll kind of go through it.
Yeah. So, anyways, they eventually make their way to the surface because here's one thing I did want to mention. So we've skipped over a bunch of good scenes. One of which is they almost win this big race, and basically they encourage all the miners to work harder because they're like, if those miners can almost win this race of bots that are stronger, then we can definitely work harder. So you have Sentinel Prime is really like happy with him. So he's about to promote him and everything. But you have their boss from down in the mines who's kind of a butthole. I don't remember his name. But anyways, he sends them down to the garbage area, the waste disposal. And that's where they meet Bumblebee. who is voiced by, is it Jordan Peele?
Is it?
It's let's see. Bumblebee.
Here's Optimus Prime.
The filthy red and blue bot?
Yeah, that's him right
Gives
there.
off a corroded metallic stench. Okay, corroded, that is
Kind of have the trailer playing right here for you guys, just kind of get caught up a little bit and know what exactly we're talking about here.
So it's not Jordan Peele, it's actually Keegan Michael Key is the voice that I'm thinking of.
But this fight is mine.
You
Dude, the
have,
CGI on this thing
Yeah,
is
it's really
so
good.
great on this movie. I just want to point out real quick, the CGI and all that's really great. And
so
the colors really pop.
oh yeah.
Now is the time to stand together.
Yeah, you're kind of hearing a little bit there of
No, it's time to fight back.
the different voices.
You need to move out of my way before I move you myself.
It's so good, dude, to me.
Yeah. It is really good. I kind of feel like they're steering away from more of the 80s style, which
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are going to like. I wish they would have nodded more back to that. They did in one scene with Scarlett Johansson where she said, "You don't have the touch or the power." Do you remember that scene
No.
where she's talking to Optimus and
Until next time, legends.
she made some sort of a comment and she's like, "You don't have the touch or the power." And that was the song that they played in one of the Transformers movies from the 80s. That's like, "You got the touch, you got the power." It was like an 80s song. So that was
Dude,
kind
that's
of a
awesome.
nod back to that. But yeah, you have Keegan Michael Key, who is B127, who eventually becomes Bumblebee. And I gotta say, man, I like how he played the character, but I wish he would have been somebody other than Bumblebee. That's my big gripe.
What
With the
what
movie.
do you mean? Like him being somebody else than Bumblebee?
Yeah, I
Or-
wish he would have been a different bot because I don't feel like that's the type of character that Bumblebee is. Because they made him out to be like a strange idiot, and I don't
I
think
know,
Bumblebee is
I
a
know.
strange idiot. I liked how he played. In the movie, he was funny and it was good, but
They needed that
That's not
comic
Bumblebee.
relief.
Yeah.
That comic relief they needed.
yeah, but a Bumblebee.
But not Bumblebee.
Bumblebee is kind of, so to me, his character is kind of like a Maverick type character where he's like off the wall. He's going to do things crazy, but eventually he's going to become a good leader.
The biggest sacrificer,
Yeah, but on this, they made him out to be an idiot, just a straight up idiot. And I didn't like that. But
Yeah.
it's a small gripe for the movie that I don't feel like is a really serious Transformers movie. It's more of just a fun one. But that was my main gripe with the movie.
So just kind of talking about, I know we kind of stopped kind of going into one for one on the movie because I know some people probably didn't see it. But I just want to kind of talk to you a little bit about maybe kid-wise. I know you brought your 2 kids there. Do you think this is something that people can bring their kids to this movie? It's more like an animation CGI kind of movie, right? So you could kind of say it's more like kids would be more into this than like a live action movie, right? So would you recommend something like this?
Oh,
to
yeah,
like families
definitely.
to bring their kids to?
Definitely. There was a few cuss words. It was nothing major. It was when the Bumblebee character was saying, "Hi, I'm B127, but I also am called Badassatron." And he kept doing that voice. He called himself Badassatron, which I thought was funny. And, I think it was
Gotta keep
just...
the parents in it, right?
Yeah, I think it was just fine. And I want to mention another actor here, dude. Before I forget, you have Steve Buscemi as Starscream, which I thought was a really cool pick because I felt like he embodied the Starscream character really well. And even cooler was after his voice box got crushed by Megatron, he sounded even more like the classic Starscream. And
yeah,
I just think that was a great
and they even
pick.
referenced that at the end when he's like, "You sound weird," or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
you know when
I thought it was great
when Sentinel Prime was like saying something to him.
Yeah,
He's like, "You just sound weird."
Yep.
But it was great. It was great.
Who played Sentinel Prime? Because he was really good. Oh, it was John.
Is it Henry?
John Hamm played. He's the main guy off of Mad Men.
I don't know that show too much.
John Hamm, you would know him if you saw his face, but I didn't know he played
I
Sentinel
know who you're
Prime.
talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so Sentinel Prime to me was kind of like Homelander was kind of his character, which I thought he did a good job playing as that character. So
whoever that guy that plays Homelander is, dude, that's a whole nother level right there.
He's a psycho.
Yeah, you got a visitor. You got a visitor behind you, buddy.
In just a little bit, baby. Will you please go downstairs?
Well, guys, let's talk about the second thing right here, the transformation discovery real quick. Sam and his car Bumblebee, along with Michaela, uncover Bumblebee's true nature.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. That's what I'm going to talk about.
No, you're talking about the first movie.
It brung up 2007 Transformers on me.
No,
I'm like just trying to go into the transformation when they turn into.
Okay.
Let's really talk about when they turn into when they get.
Gotcha. So
the cores. So I know I kind of skipped a little bit, but
so it is
just to kind of go into it a little bit. The Transformers after this race, they end up above the surface. Okay, they go into this kind of discovery aspect to it. And when they go into this town and all that, they end up going into these mountains and end up finding these Primus that supposedly from the big war ended up were killed, right? And Sentinel Prime was the last one that survived all this.
Yep. And they brought him back to life because he was the only one that had his spark, so they gave him like a little bit of energon.
Not Sentinel Prime, but what's his name that they brought back? Do you know his name?
Oh, yeah, I do. It's played by Lawrence Fishburne is the voice actor, and it is Alpha Trion.
So he comes back, and he actually gives the truth to the miners, the main characters, Optimus Prime and B-19 and all of them. And he tells them what happened. And I think this part, and it's very important to note this, is it B-19, right? Which is not Optimus Prime, but Megatron, right? The bad guy, the eventual bad guy. What's his name before he becomes Megatron?
Let me look. D16.
D16. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So D16. This is the pivotal moment, I believe, at this point when he makes the turn to just being.
Yes.
Later on to say is the bad guy.
Because he's the one that wanted to follow the rules the whole time. You had, the Optimus character wanting to break the rules and try to get to the bottom of what was really going on. D16, a.k.a. Megatron, was totally bought into this world that they were living in. So when he found out that all of it was a big lie, I think it broke him. And that's when he makes his turn.
Like his whole life was a lie at that point.
Exactly.
And you can tell Optimus Prime at that point is kind of looking at him and like he can kind of sense it of like something ain't right.
He's like, bro, and what is it?
So D16 goes on a mission at that point to get revenge on Sentinel Prime at that point. So just not kind of going all crazy into every single detail so y'all can see the movie, but they eventually end up back after meeting the High Guard, right? They end up meeting the High Guard after they get their transformation cores.
Yes.
From the old Primus, and then they go to the High Guard.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them what happens at the High Guard? What B-16 does there?
The High Guard? I'm a little confused on what the High Guard.
If I'm saying it, I'm going, guys, if y'all don't know this, I'm not going through any notes. I'm kind of going off of memory. So if I don't have the names and all that right, I know Josh is kind of sounding confused, but it's the guard that used to be with the Primuses. They're like the rebels of
okay.
Sentinel Prime.
So that's where you meet Starscream and all them? Is that there?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
And they
Okay.
call themselves like the High Guard or something like that.
Yeah,
Like the Royal Guard or something.
Yeah, they're out there just kind of waiting to where they can try to overthrow Sentinel Prime, which we didn't even mention that. So their world was kind of ravaged and destroyed by some alien forces, and they are called the. My gosh, there's so many different weird names here. They're called the Quintessons. The Quintessons, yes. So you basically have Sentinel Prime. He turned against everybody to make a deal with the Quintessons, and he's given them Energon. And you have the High Guard is basically waiting so that they can overthrow Sentinel Prime and kind of take their world back. And their kind of motto is the strongest ones are the ones that should survive and lead. Is that what you were getting at with that?
Yep, that's what I was going to get at.
Okay.
Kind of mention that because after they leave the High Guard, they actually get ambushed by the Quintessons, right? And they send a bunch of missiles in.
Yeah.
No. That's Sentinel Prime does, right? And kidnaps them.
I think so because he's working with the
That's
Quintessons.
Right.
So
right.
it might have been a Quintesson ship that did it. I don't remember exactly, but basically, yeah, they get attacked, and during all this time, you kind of have Megatron who's learning his ability. He has a big gun that pops out of his arm.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's like slowly molding into the Megatron that everybody knows now.
And his eyes are like red too, like starting to turn red.
Yeah, because after they get their new cogs or whatever from the other primes that were dead, they get upgraded. So they have like better armor, they're bigger, they're able to transform, and they're still kind of learning those abilities.
Yep. So they end up with I'm going to call them the High Guard until you can come up with a different name, but the High Guard, that's where Sentinel Prime ends up like talking about that guy's voice and everything, and he ends up killing them. One of them with his sword. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. Which one are you talking about?
He said he talks too much. No, he even captured the old Primus too and brung them all up there to his, like, I guess his office or his kingdom. And Sentinel Prime ends up killing the Optimus, the old Primus, because he kept talking to him. And he's like, I'm so tired of him talking. I used to sit there and hear all the Promises sit around the table and talk about loyalty and royalty and all this stuff. And he ends up killing this guy. I know we kind of sound all over the place, but I just want to, I'm trying to get to a point of this Sentinel Prime is the main bad guy on this. Okay. And he set up all these old Promises, I guess you can call it. And when he set him up and everything, he had something against this guy. He started doing his talking again about being loyal, and it's going to be his undoing what he just did. And he ends up killing him with the sword as well. And then he turns himself to B-16 and all, and B-16 actually stands up to him as well. Yeah, and everybody from the High Guard sees him stand up to Sentinel Prime.
And he's got a sticker on his arm that Optimus had given him. And it's a sticker that later becomes the symbol of the Decepticons. And you have Sentinel Prime pretty much like wields that onto his chest, like hurting him, like basically like using a laser or a blowtorch or something. Basically puts that into his chest like a scar / deep gouge in his armor skin. And that's where I don't remember if the Megatron from the cartoon has that on him. Like I know the Decepticons have that as symbol, but I don't remember his being.
It had to be something like that, because why would they make that happen?
Yeah.
Just right then. You know?
Yeah.
But after that happens, they try to fight and everything. He's overpowered, but right in the nick of time is when Optimus Prime and them do show up at that point.
Yeah.
And there's an all-out war that occurs. Not to go into all the details with it, but all-out war occurs. There's a lot of great CGI, a lot of great action scenes during this point.
Yeah, this is your big final battle, which I think is really well done and was really fun to watch, honestly.
But you actually see Megatron B-16 overpower Sentinel, and he's about to execute him in front of everybody.
Yep. And
then take over the leadership to everybody. Everybody's starting to like look at him as being the new leader, the new way forward. And then right at that moment, here comes Optimus Prime. And you think, okay, he's going to stop him because B-16 and Optimus have been friends for so long. That would be like me looking at Josh and be like, Josh, stop.
Yeah.
We're here. We won. This is it. And Josh turning to me and be like, no,
I'm going to kill him.
This is the way.
Yeah.
You know? So he knocks Optimus Prime out of the way. But the biggest thing of all this, and guys, I will give you this moment right now if you don't want to hear it forward, which if you're already here at this point, you're in deep.
Yeah.
But he goes to shoot that big cannon finally at Sentinel Prime.
Yeah.
And Optimus Prime jumps in front of it and deflects it and tears a huge hole into Optimus Prime.
That was pretty brutal because he's got like a hole, like his arm is gone,
like he's done.
Half of his chest. He's about to die.
Yeah.
And he basically falls into the planet.
Off. He falls, but here's the biggest thing of the whole movie.
Yep.
You know what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
B-16, Optimus Prime, not Optimus Prime, but Megatron grabs Optimus Prime and it's holding him by his arm. And he's like, why'd you do that? And it's like his old self resorts back, like, I can't believe you did that. And I forget what's all said, but it's like something just clicked in his eyes. And he see his eyes turn red, and he says, I'm tired of saving you. And he drops Optimus Prime to his death.
Yep.
And the only thing I didn't like about the movie is one thing on that, Josh, is when he gets dropped, he goes all the way down, and then the Matrix, the leadership of Matrix, ends up choosing him, Optimus Prime, to be their leader going forward.
Yep.
And ends up bringing him from death, repairing him, gives it to him, and he's fine. How do you end up just going and fall out of all the places you go to and you fall right there, and then all of a sudden that happens?
Right.
That to me didn't make any sense.
To me, I feel like the planet is almost alive, and it starts opening up to kind of receive him so that it can give him the Matrix, because the Matrix basically disintegrated when they were trying to steal it before because he wasn't worthy of it. So I'm thinking like there's some sort of mystery there with like the primes and the planet are kind of alive, and because they all are down there, I guess in their spirit form, they're all kind of talking to him, and they're like, we choose you to be the new, you will now be called Optimus Prime. So he actually becomes a prime in that moment. So I think there was some like spiritual kind of hand waving there. So, but I get why that would seem a little weird.
And then he just floats back up in the nick of time, saves his friends.
And he's freaking jacked now. Like I think he gets even bigger then, doesn't he? Like he gets even more like Optimus.
He's bigger than Megatron, even. And the thing I don't understand either is these are minors.
Well,
they never fought in their life.
Yeah.
And they just start fighting and knowing how to use their weapons and all that kind of stuff. I just wish there was more.
Dude, that's right.
Bringing into it.
I think that's a lot of it that was dumbed down, because I feel like in the original show, they were all kind of soldiers maybe. Like, I don't know the specific lore from back then, but that's a great point, that I feel like a lot of the aspect of it was kind of dumbed down to make it fit in this movie.
Yeah, it was. And I feel like they kind of rushed it to get to a certain point on this movie because it sets it up for the second movie, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they did a great job. I think they still did a great job overall. I highly recommend it. But I think the fighting aspect to it, because they even had trouble when they first transformed with the core. Remember when they was rolling down the hill, they didn't know how to use their cores,
Right.
how to transform. But all of a sudden, it's like they get it, and now they're like professionals, and they're like spinning upside down, doing backflips, shooting the gun at the same time. You know, like
And
I
then
just don't
everybody
understand
gets
it.
a core after that because the planet starts to flow with energon again, and everybody's cores come out, and now like everybody's able to transform. And you find out that Sentinel Prime was the one that was removing all the cores when they were born, so that they weren't able to transform.
There's no more mining as well.
Yeah, because the energon is just flowing out of the planet now. They don't have to mine for it.
And I agree with you. I think it goes back to saying that the planet is actually alive.
Yeah.
I feel like. So Optimus Prime takes his place on the mantle as the new leader, and he sends off Megatron from the city and says, "Don't come back, you are banished." But all his followers from the High Guard and everybody else ends up leaving with them. So he has an army with him, and Optimus Prime does not take care of the threat at that moment, which is probably going to be brought into come the next movie, more than likely.
Yeah.
Which gets to my point, Josh. Do you think there will be a 2?
See, I don't know. I feel like this was a great one-off. I'm not exactly sure how it did in the box office. I'm assuming it did okay. But what I enjoyed it in the aspect of I could take my boys there and we had a good time. But I want them to make another movie that's more serious, and it can be animated where they're on the planet doing stuff too. I think that the Michael Bay version of Transformers doesn't take it as like seriously, even as this one does, because this one goes into more like lore and backstory and a lot more world building in the Transformers universe. So I feel like this is something they're going to potentially do more of. Yes. I'm not sure if they're going to go this direction or not. So we'll just have to see. There's a lot of like animated stuff out there already with Transformers. There's all kind of TV shows and everything, but this is definitely the highest quality production of an animated, Transformers movie in recent date for sure.
I agree with that. The biggest thing I like about this whole movie is the epic confrontations. The battles are even more intense and visually stunning, with cityscapes in the high-tech environments becoming the new battlegrounds. So I do like how they kind of integrated that, and you're not on Earth on this Transformers movie. You're on Cybertron, and it's a pretty cool little world that it kind of entailed, and they kind of thought up on this movie. So I do like that, and I hope the next movie is going to stay here. And it shows the fall of Cybertron. That would be really cool to see.
And I like how they developed the voices too, because you have Optimus played by, what's his name? I forgot his name already. Chris Hemsworth, where he kind of starts to talk deeper as he becomes Optimus, which was really cool because by the end of the movie, he's like, "I'm sending a message to the galaxy warning any future invaders to stay away from Cybertron." Like, he really starts to embody the character, and then you have Megatron as well, starts to get into that deeper evil voice. And I loved watching that aspect of the evolution of the characters like that. Yes. That was really fun.
And they did a great job on that. I think they really did. But it don't you think, and I'm going to leave it with this, guys, do you think it's kind of sad thinking that they was like best buds?
Yeah, man.
And now they're like mortal enemies. Like, Megatron threw away that friendship. They even did a flashback when he finally turned. They did a flashback of all the good times they had, and they was looking at each other's back, being minors and all. And he just turned on them like that, man. Like, do you think it's the core, or do you think that's just how things go sometimes? I mean,
I think sometimes
it was kind of a hard thing to watch.
It really was, because you saw like a mental break there where it seemed more like Megatron had a lot of deep trauma that he suppressed, and then all of a sudden he snapped And when he snapped, he was just really angry, and he stayed angry. After he snapped that first time, after he learned the truth, you said it, that was a pivotal moment where he snapped and he stayed angry and got angrier and angrier as the movie went on. So, yeah, that was hard to watch because it was done in a way that was rushed, I think, but they had to. But with the time allotted, I think that was the best way to show him snapping and becoming that evolution of the evil, Megatron.
Man. Guys, check out Transformers 1. It's in theaters right now for a little bit longer, especially when it comes on all digital platforms. They have not gave a release date on that yet, but if you do watch it, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about the movie. Yeah. Continue to check us out on the GGrated Podcast. Anything else you want to add in reference to it, man?
No, it was just that, like we talked a lot about of the like heavier stuff, but there was a lot of comedy relief in the movie, a lot of things that were funny, a lot of action that's enjoyable for the younger folks too. I think it was a good all-around movie for the young and old, and beautifully animated. It's got its own particular style. It was a fun movie. I don't think it was all like doom and gloom, but it was fun yet serious. It was an interesting take on the universe, and I would love to hear what everybody else thought in the comments below. I would love to hear more from the diehard Transformers fans as well. There's a guy at work named Billy, and he's like a huge Transformers nut, and I haven't asked him about this yet. But I'm assuming he's going to be mad about it. So that's just kind of the feeling I get, because he's in love with like the 80s cartoons.
The live action.
Dude, have you seen the 80s cartoons? Like
it's
the
been
movie?
A long time. But
there's a Transformers movie where, spoiler alert, a lead character dies. And it gets really serious. I think back in the day, it made a bunch of children cry because it got like that serious. It was like deep. Yeah.
I might have to check that one out, dude.
I think it's free on YouTube. It's the Transformers movie.
We have to check that out.
And it's got like different kind of songs, and it is a vibe for sure. So, yeah, I would love
80s music, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's beautifully animated too. It's that classic style. So, I find myself wanting to kind of like dive into the Transformers universe a little bit more. After this movie, I was looking at the games and stuff, and I'm like, I want to play a Transformers game. Like
Speaking of, Xbox just brought back the Transformers games on Xbox.
Okay.
They have from the 360 era.
Yeah.
So y'all can definitely check that out.
Check it out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Let us know in the comments below about your gaming moment of the week and what you thought about this episode and what you'd like to hear in future episodes.
Thank you, guys. Continue to check us out, the GGrated Podcast, for your latest tech, news, gaming, deals, all that great stuff. If you have any that you want to throw our way, make sure you leave them in the comments or check us out on our Facebook page at GGrated. Thank you, guys, for checking out episode 53. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Autobots, roll out. Not saving you this time.